I think what the advice that I'd offer you is recognizing the big companies have enormous advantages over small companies, but they all come because they have an extra zero, right? They're bigger, they're scale. It's like they have scale and muscle and so on and so forth. That's the goodness of being big. What they don't have is that they're never fast. They're usually bureaucratic. They're usually, they've got so much process in there that it slows them down. They're not necessarily as innovative because they're usually programmed out 20 years. And oftentimes the crumbs that fall off a big company's table because it's too small for them to focus on it are actually really big meals for small companies. So crumbs off the table for a large company can be a big meal for a small company. So I would encourage you to look at your competitors, and everything's situation is different, but I'd encourage you to take a look at your competitors who are so much bigger and say, well, that's great. They've got all these advantages, but let's look at what their disadvantages. And if you call up their customers, their customers will tell you what pisses them off about their big clients, and figure out a way to take advantage of the Achilles heel of the big company and differentiate yourself on that. I think finding the right mentors is a little bit like dialing for dollars. You just kind of keep hunting and hunting and hunting, finding different venues, and just keep going at it and at it and at it. And then sooner, it's like fishing. Sooner or later, you'll hook the big one, right? But for me or anybody else, I think to come up with a formulaic answer to finding the right mentor for what you need is like, I just don't know that there's a formula that exists for that. I just encourage you to just keep turning it over, dial for dollar, keep going at it and at it and at it and at it and at it. And, finding different pathways is, one pathway begets another pathway, right? And just keep going at it on that basis. I don't know, Scott, what would you add to that?
People, I find the most successful people are incredibly generous with genuine advice. And the reason they are is that they've spent a lifetime focusing on other people and on purpose. And that is part of the reason they've been successful. So it's not like you're a one-off when they give you advice and are interested in you. But you may be surprised at how interested they are in you and your future.
You're saying, how do you influence the culture in a large company? Is that the question?
Yeah, exactly. Instead of having to quit and go do your own startup, how do you be like a startup within a company, I guess, like doing what, you think is right or whatnot?
Forget it.
Okay.
No, like culture and values in an organization is one of the most top-down components of any enterprise. When I lead, as I lead Maple Leaf organization, I tell people it's the one thing that I personally own. You can't change the culture of an enterprise from the bottom up. It's got to come from the top down.
The other thing to look for in a company is not what they say their values are or what they print in their annual reports, but seeing the CEO and their actions. And within a company, if there is a delta between the spoken values of the company and how the CEO acts with people, forget it. It's got to be authentic.
When that occurs, if there's white space between the poster on the wall and the behavior of the leader, it's the behavior of the leader that's going to be real, and the poster on the wall is going to be bullshit. The values and the culture of the Maple Leaf organization, I took the pen, I wrote them personally because I was unwilling, totally unwilling to allow any white space between the poster on the wall and my own personal behavior and what I believed in.